All right, you're welcome back to Metro TV. Good afternoon to you, and this is Good Afternoon Ghana. I am Annie Adwoa Safo. We're going to go through, matters arising from the revocation of Adwoa Safo as a minister for gender. Now, we will have, some analysis from the party side, the NPP, where she is associated with, and then we'll also have a discussion with the Director for Parliamentary Network Africa, also to consider matters that are arising from Parliament, what happened in Parliament yesterday, and then, going forward, what we should be expecting from the House. The Speaker had already indicated that when Parliament returns or resumes, then he will give his ruling. What will be happening as Parliament already is off or is on break? Maybe some discussion will be ongoing there until they come back, and then we'll hear from the Speaker on the executive, from the legislature side. But the executive already has taken its decision as a letter came out yesterday. And let's see what's going to happen going forward. We have a caretaker ministry that will be taking care of her ministry in her absence, or now that she's been actually officially sacked. Let's go for a breather. When we come back, we'll start with analysis. You're welcome back. It's Good Afternoon Ghana, and we're in the Ikea studio here at North Ridge. No, we're talking about the disappointment of Adwoa Safo, who's been taken off by the executive. We're still expecting the legislature to give us its response after these members of parliament absented themselves, 15 days continuously without permission. Let's see how the ruling will go. As the Speaker has indicated, it will come up in October when the House resumes. We have Kamaldeen Abdullahi, who is now the Deputy Communications Director for the MPP. Kamal, you're welcome. Good afternoon to you, and congratulations.
Thank you, my good brother, and my sister, what I should say.
I see you meet men a lot.
Thank you very much. And of course, I must thank your production team for getting me here as well. It's my first time I've been in your studio since you relocated.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been at Laboni to join on Good Morning Ghana, but you guys are doing a great job.
There's more to see in
you
this,
are doing
in this
a great
edifice,
job.
trust me.
I just love your rebranding.
Thank you.
Excellent.
You. We've come with full vim, but let's, go into Parliament House now and monitor how the debate went on the Adwoa Safo, attempt to remove her as Member of Parliament as well.
A member of Parliament shall vacate his seat in Parliament. A says, upon a dissolution of Parliament. If Parliament is dissolved, vacancy is declared for all of us, collectively and individually. There is that automaticity. Mr. Speaker, B says, if he's elected Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, the Speaker of Parliament, Speaker Adwoa Safo, was a member of Parliament, duly elected by his constituents. When he was nominated and indeed elected as Speaker of Parliament, the Speaker, immediately after the election, his seat fell vacant. There was that automaticity. The Speaker, now let's come to 97. 1C, it says a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat in Parliament if he is absent.
I'm to remind him that I have no problem with members of Parliament who are in breaches of this Constitution must be held solely responsible to those breaches. And there should be no cover up for any elected member of Parliament when you absent yourself without permission in writing from the Speaker for 15 days consecutive. But Mr. Speaker, the three you referred to, it says to the Privileges Committee. So Mr. Speaker, I have a question to ask even before he proceeds. So the Privileges Committee report they have given to us, to do what? To do what? What is Parliament to do? It is not for me to express my own opinion, but my opinion will be that this is Parliament, this House, the elected MPs, 275, we are parliament. Therefore, if a report has been submitted to us, we must take a decision as a house on that report. As a house, elected members of parliament. That is what happened in 2005 when the Amate thing happened. So let's not change the rules today because we may not want an Adwoa Safo or a Henry Cote or a Kennedy Japan to be subjected to the full requirement of the Constitution under Article 97.
And I need time to submit to this House a reasoned, written ruling. I cannot, in the haste of today, give you the ruling. In the circumstances, I will urge this House for us to call it a day.
Well, so the House called it a day, and without the Speaker ruling on the matter, we're expecting that when it resumes in October, we'll hear from the Speaker and see what the House or what decision the House will take about Adwoa Safo. We have Sami Obeng, who is Executive Director of at Parliamentary Network Africa, who is also joining us via Zoom for some more discussion. Sami, are you with us? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Great. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome. Let me pick from you since I've just gotten you online. Let's take your opening comments on what has happened so far. Executive, revoking her appointments, and legislature still holding on, and then we're hoping that we get a response in October.
Well, yesterday was a missed opportunity for the Parliament of Ghana to have taken a decisive decision to curb or help curb the challenges of absenteeism of members of Parliament. Of course, it's been postponed to October. The executive took a decision on her ministerial role. Too little, too late, I say, because, of course, this decision should have come in much, much earlier.
Right. So, Sami, do you think that maybe, let's say, the Parliament House, people are saying that the Speaker is, handling this issue with care, and even applauding him for how far he has gone in terms of inviting these members of Parliament to face the Privileges Committee. But there's a but there, because there are also other MPs, we're told about 30 MPs who have equally, fallen short of the expectation of the standing orders.
No, well, of course, the 8th Parliament needed to be commended for referring these MPs to the Privileges Committee. Remember that successive parliaments have had research works by civil society on MP absenteeism and have not really taken any decision or any action on them. So for the 8th Parliament to have done this, I think it is commendable. Of course, no two ways about that. However, when you take people committees of Parliament to come, explain why they've been absent so that they can give justifiable reasons for the absence, then of course you must ensure that you go ahead to take decisive, decisions on the subject matter going forward. But note that I think there's one clarification that we all need to make. These 3 members of Parliament who were referred to the committee were referred to the committee because they were absent for 15 sitting days within a meeting in the first session of Parliament. So that is during the 2021 calendar year. Mm-hmm. These new 33 lists that have come up are those that Odifro per its research have been absent from Parliament in this current session of Parliament, which is 2022. And of course, it's our expectation that once the 3 from last year have been referred, once this matter is dispensed of, the new 33 must also be referred, because we cannot continue to pay individuals every month. We cannot continue to have individuals who will be demanding their pound of flesh so far as Gracia is concerned, yet they do not come to work. If I, as an employee of a government institution, does not show up at work, I will have real repercussions to deal with. And so people who have been put in positions of authority must not abuse the positions for which they have been put. They must show up at work, do their jobs, and not renege on their responsibilities.
Is Parliament being too soft on MPs when it comes to attendance?
Well, I think that the institution of Parliament is pussyfooting on the matter. Parliament has already told us that, and this was about 2 or 3 years ago, that they wanted to procure an electronic clocking system to ensure that members of Parliament who attend Parliament can clock in, because they already acknowledge that the current system of registering attendance is really archaic and outmoded. But when you have an opportunity such as this to crack the whip and you do not, then of course 3 members of Parliament who flouted the rules in 2021 will turn to 33 in 2022. And who knows what the number will become in 2023 and beyond.
Hold on there. Let me engage my own friend here in the studio. Okay, so I'm told that because you're on phone, let's just finish off with you before I come back into the studio. So Sammy, with what is happening, in fact, I have asked a couple of questions when people say that Adwoa Safo has to be heard. Yes, we've heard that. But Adwoa Safo has also been provided platforms as co-MPs who were also provided equal platforms, and they responded, but she didn't. Who is to be blamed for her failure to, respond according to the platform that she's been provided with? I mean, I think we have been benevolent enough, not so, as a country.
Well, who else can be blamed apart from her herself? The Committee of Parliament was magnanimous enough. They offered her the opportunity to even make her presentation via virtual means. She refused to take advantage. They published these things, it went viral. We're all aware. We know that she was on social media and other platforms, expressing her views. So she definitely would have heard about this. Of course, she chooses a pathway of not responding. For me, I think that if there is something that we must avoid a situation where members of Parliament in the future will think that they will want to take what I term as the Adwoa Safo approach to dealing with parliamentary committees. So the committee invites me, I don't show up, and I continue to insist that I must be heard, even though I have not shown up after several months. I think that this is a very big disrespect to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and to the very people of Ghana, especially those within the constituency who voted that particular member of Parliament into office. And we must not continue to condone these acts.
Right. Samuel Obey, thank you for speaking to us. He's Executive Director of Parliamentary Network Africa. Let me now come back to Kamal Dean, who's been with me in the studio for some minutes now. Kamal, thank you for joining us once again, and congratulations on the new appointment. We hope to see bigger things in the near future.
Thank you. I have not been appointed to any. Which appointment is that?
Are you not the Deputy Director of Communications?
Oh, I have always been a Deputy Director of Communications.
Well, we have new officers in. Now, if you have not
maybe
been
they're
removed,
yet to.
yes.
The Constitution mandates them to have some consultation, the party constitution as it were, and of course have series of meetings, I believe, before reaching the conclusion as to who to appoint and who not to appoint, as it were. But as we speak now, we have elected executives of the party in place.
Yeah.
And those of us who belong to the old executive fold, who were appointed by them, will still hold forth for those who are yet to come in. That is the more reason why I'm still acting as the Deputy
so you're
Communication
acting
Director.
now.
We are
Okay,
not
so I
appointed
thought that
yet.
you actually
I
have
am
been
a
maintained.
substantive, but until new set of executives
Come
are appointed, then
okay.
of course you cease to
Okay.
be. But so I am still a Deputy Communication Director, appointed by the old executives, but not the new executive who have come in.
Okay,
So
so the information...
just for the clarity
Okay,
of
yeah.
it.
Thank you for that clarity.
Thank
I
you.
actually thought that the
that's
new
fine.
executive
It's
have
not a new,
maintained
no,
you.
not
Okay,
yet.
so let's see how it goes. We wish you all the best anyway.
Thank you.
But it will be good to have you maintained, right?
Well,
or even pushed as a Director of Communications.
It's a collective work, and I believe many decisions are reached in every political party based on collectivity. We pray and hope that our party is undergoing reorganization.
Right.
We are almost at the fin of it, and that which is the appointment there to be done. I believe when that is done, will be complete, and then we get on going. But let's see what happens.
Right. Congrats to you and your party anyway
Thank you.
for a good job done. So, well, can I say, or will we be right to say that the MPP failed to use a whip system to, put Adwoa Safo on the line as a party she comes from?
Well, thank you very much. Maybe good afternoon to your viewers as well. And of course, to your able production team. Annie, did the MPP fail to use the whip system? I will say emphatically no. To get Adwoa Safo to Parliament, I will say no. They didn't fail to use the whip system. We are human beings, and in putting laws together, we consider acts of God. We consider certain tendencies that may arise that would not allow the law to work. Why do I say this? Honorable Adwoa Safo is an elected member of Parliament for the people of Dome Kobinya. She has been there not once, not twice, but I guess it's her third term or so.
Yeah.
I stand to be corrected. It means that the people of Dome Kobinya in the past and maybe still repose some confidence in her. But let us not also forget that Honorable Adwoa Safo is somebody who is human and could also have certain issues that would arise and maybe disallow her from performing her duties as a member of Parliament. Now, how did we get here to warrant this question of whether or not the MPP failed to use the whip system? We got here because an MP, in this case Adwoa Safo, couldn't come to Parliament for some number of days, which the Constitution says it frowns on.
Matter of fact, months.
Now, in fact, I will use days or months or whatever. Again, she isn't only an MP, also a minister, failed to even report to work for some time. But her failure was hinged on certain, reasons. On the side of the executive where she's a minister, the reason was actually given that she had some health issues to deal with. And that's why I prefix my argument this morning or this afternoon with the idea of health issues, or maybe she being human, I should say. Now, if this health issue was something to go by, which she wrote to the president to indicate and said she needed to go and take care of herself. As we speak, there's a member of Parliament who is actually bedridden also, okay? For a number of days he cannot come. That is why I said that in even making laws, you consider certain factors that will come, and maybe those factors will lead to exceptions of the law, or to the law, as it were. Now, the MPP, whether they have failed to use the whip system or not failed to use the whip system, what was the reason given to them by Honorable Adwoa Safo earlier? And if those reasons exist at all, Honorable Adwoa Safo herself should be privy to the provisions of Article 97(1)(c) of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. That look, where you fail to attend for some number of days, which has been frowned on by the Constitution, you have the right to appear before the Privileges Committee to explain or give reasonable, explanation as to why you couldn't make it. Question is, was she able to do that? Of course, it is common knowledge that she hasn't been able to do that. To the extent that the Privileges Committee would have to even push ahead to invite her, get her side of the story, to listen to her. Why is it that she is absent? Again, I am saying that this bearing in mind that she's not alone who has gone through this or who is supposed to have, absented herself for some time. But staying on Adwoa Safo, all I want to say is that clearly the law is what it is. She's supposed to procedurally have followed what the law has indicated she should do. And if she hasn't done that, any member of Parliament who fails to do that, to me, and in fact that's my personal view, amounts to an affront to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and needs to use that or get us to get the law to work. So the MPP trying to know why she is not in Parliament, trying to get her to Parliament. If you recall, during the e-levy days, she came and was in Parliament. And I believe that the whip system had worked. So if somebody says the whip system didn't work or it's not working, I disagree with the person. Because what actually brought her in Parliament around that time? A lot happened. She came in and then she left again. Still number of days
When they use that whip system to get her during the e-levy period, what was the state of her health?
I mean, it is for Honorable Adwoa Safo to answer. That is why we needed this meeting with Honorable Adwoa Safo and the Privileges Committee to establish what exactly is the reason why she's absenting herself. Okay? So that if the Privileges Committee, headed by the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, invites you, makes efforts to get you on board, and you are unable to avail yourself, there should still be a reason, a written reason, to the Speaker of Parliament explaining why. Okay? As to whether or not that has been done is another matter. And I don't believe if that was done, the argument of procedure not follow or she not following procedure would have arisen at all.
So,
No,
I mean, now
it
we
wouldn't have come up.
should be...
So I'm saying that the MPP never failed in using the whip system. I'm also saying that the Privileges Committee in Parliament have indicated that, look, they've made frantic efforts to get her to appear before them and explain. You see, and I'm saying all this bearing in mind that the Constitution is a very powerful law in this country. Not you, Annie, not me, and not those listening to us. Nobody, not even the president, has the right to disrespect the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. That is why Article 3 says, look, fight for this Constitution no matter what, even if it took your blood. I am paraphrasing, not quoting, as it were. So I'm saying that if she stays away from Parliament, which the Constitution disagrees with, and the majority also try to make efforts to let her come on board to explain that she's not doing it. The Privileges Committee, which is not just only the majority, but consists of the majority and minority, makes effort and don't get it, then of course it will bring us to where we are today. And I think that is so sad on the part of her to have done that.
I'm okay, let's go through the Constitution.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the same Constitution that also when it gives you the appointment as a public servant, it gives you rules or some rudiments to go through that this person that's going to be appointed, even, for example, in the case of a president, must be of sound mind.
Yeah.
So we have a responsibility to keep it to that or keep it at that. So this MP who is bedridden, for example, that is unable to come to Parliament, the whole House know that, well, he's bedridden and it's a sudden situation. And so naturally, by the wisdom of the Constitution, we can all deal with it at that level. But when you have a situation where someone says that, well, it's based on health grounds, right now we do not know if this health grounds is pertaining to her in person or her son, as she said on radio some time back when some of my colleague media personnel interviewed her, that her child is not well and she has to be with the child. So the Constitution says a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat, A, upon a dissolution of Parliament, or B, if he is elected as Speaker of Parliament, or C, if he is absent without permission in the writing of the Speaker, and that's what we're dealing with now. If he is absent without permission in the writing of a speaker and he is unable to offer a reasonable explanation to the parliamentary committee or on privileges from 15 sitting of a meeting of parliament during any period that parliament has been summoned to meet and continues to meet, or D, if is expelled from parliament after having been found guilty of contempt of parliamentary by a committee of parliament, or it goes on and on. So here, we have moved, when in the case of Adwoa Safo, we've moved from her absenteeism to her flouting a committee's requirements to appear. So she now has 2 counts to deal with. In the case of the MP that's not well, I'm sure that for reasonable explanation,
Suffices.
it suffices. But in the case of Adwoa Safo, we do not know. And we've asked you to come and explain the clause D. It's just giving you away. You have decided to even, create a contempt by not appearing before the parliamentary. So what do we do? I do not know how long we have to wait. The executive has taken action, which is a good thing for us for now. They said it's too late, but it's okay. For now, we'll take it like that. What do we do?
You see, I don't know why we are making meat out of this matter, but maybe the reason could be that for future reoccurrence of same to be averted, as it were. But I think that in all fours, when you look at the arguments being pushed, there is some flouting of the law, like you rightly indicated, okay, by a legislator who should know better, okay? I mean, she's a legislator of repute, been in parliament not once, but twice, and if it in the third time or so, I stand to be corrected. So the point I am making here is that Adwoa should know that, look, the provisions of 97(1)(c) of the Constitution is clear. And those who are still even dragging their feet, I'm talking about the minority in parliament, should know that the provision is clear. And the law is no respecter of any person in this country.
You're talking about the minority?
The minority should also know. Why? Why? We heard some arguments in parliament when the majority advanced the arguments. And look, you even played the video. That look, Article 97(1)(c) is clear. And clearly, the procedure was actually triggered, but not followed by her. And the parliament, the committee has actually brought a report before parliament, the plenary to discuss. But the minority holds a different view. There was a bouncer. I mean, I had the majority leader and I had the minority leader until the speaker came out to say that, look, he's going to have a written, if you like, submission on this or judgment on it.
Do you see that the minority is putting up a posture of defending her, rather?
Seemingly, yes.
Really?
Seemingly, yes. That's what I'm seeing. And I think it was a straightforward matter.
But there's also another argument that the minority is calling for her removal. They are denying it.
No. We all saw even the video you played, where the majority leader was pushing strongly for a decision to be reached on it, so that the seat could be declared vacant, and if there's going to be by-election, we pursue it, so that the people of Dobi Kwabinya would have a representation in parliament. Majority pushed it. And we heard the minority as well. Minority still saying, look, we want the full house to debate this report. And then what I'm saying is a straightforward matter. Did she appear before the Privileges Committee? No. Did they invite her to appear? Yes. Did they try to make efforts to get her or reach her anyhow? Yes. Could they reach her? No. Did she explain? No. Is there a letter to the effect that she has written to the Speaker of Parliament explaining her status? No. Except what I said earlier on, that the executive is privy to a matter that, look, some time ago, she had indicated she was going for some health, checkups. And ever since, we've not had a lot of interaction with her. Maybe that warranted, even though the president doesn't need to explain to people why I'm sacking her or I am actually asking her to relieving her of her duties. No, the president doesn't need to do that at all. Once he has the power under Article 78 of the Constitution to appoint, he has the power again under Article 81 to disappoint you or to remove you from office. It's clear.
Why does Adwoa Safo appears to be so powerful in this administration?
Those are your words.
That is the perception.
No, those are your words. It's not.
But that's the perception.
She can't be powerful than the Constitution of Ghana. She can be powerful.
But she's been off for months, and we've not done anything until yesterday.
I just gave you the reason why maybe there was a delay. If the President of the Republic was informed by her that, look, you appointed me, but I'm going out because of this reason. And I said, we are humans. It can happen to everybody. No one will say that I am immune from sickness. Nobody. And sickness, when it comes, like you rightly talk about the chieftaincy minister, when it comes, it could be anybody else. You would have to temper it with some amount of mercy. Because it could be you, it could be me, it could be whoever tomorrow. So the point is that in the eyes of that, reasonability will count. But where there is nothing to explain and to show, of course, there will be a problem. And I'm saying that the president did nothing wrong by saying that, look, I was informed that you were this. Later on, I made efforts to reach out to you. I couldn't get you. I didn't leave the ministry also, if you like, standing alone. I got a caretaker minister to go take care of it. But it's been long overdue. Now I've taken my decision. I think you should be relieved of your duties and move on and let life goes on. The president has done that, okay? And constitutionally so, I think it's just right, perfect. It doesn't mean that Adwoa Safo, for that past 5 months or 6 months that she's been off, she's powerful in the government than anybody. No, that's not what it means.
I mean,
no.
But you have heard that.
Those are figments of imaginations of people who think along
But
that
you've
line.
heard it.
I am saying that it is the figment of imagination of that person. Even saying she's powerful, what powerful? She's not the president. She's a member. We are respecting her as a human being.
That
One.
is an individual who kept holding a whole legislature at ransom or to ransom.
That is what it's
Because
procedure.
her side of the house wanted her to come and add up to the numbers for very important decisions to be taken. And for her to have, been able to drive the whole team, I mean, to the extent that it got to a point someone was there and then there were allegations that, that's not Adwoa Safo because she wore masks throughout, people couldn't tell. And then she comes up the next day and she's in the house and then we're like, okay, then we can go on with the business. And people are asking, what is going on?
I'm not sure you want to also, get into those street arguments of somebody was in parliament, purportedly we thought it wasn't Adwoa Safo and all that.
No, but you
those are
cannot
street
ignore.
arguments.
But you
No,
cannot
We can
ignore.
ignore it. Why not? Parliament has a procedure. You think Kamal can just walk into parliament and go and sit on a chair? No. Why are the marshals there? There's a procedure. And the minority, if you go into parliament, you always reported you've gone to parliament a lot of times. You know how they sit. And you tell me that the person sitting by him will tell it's not Adwoa. She even came to clarify it herself afterwards. So those arguments, for me, let's throw it to the dustbins. It belongs to the Marines. I mean, reasonable minds will not take this. So let's put those ones aside. And the argument of she being too powerful, what makes her powerful? It is about procedure. I have just said that she's not alone who had absented herself from parliament for some days. But the rest, have they invited them? Yes. Have they explained? Yes. And where the reasonable explanation is given, the Constitution says that if you deem it reasonable and fit, it suffices. Let's move on. The Constitution is clear. So she not being subjected to the procedure, okay, could not have been just handed over a sack. You should subject the person to an odi alteram partem principle. Listen to the other side. If she refuses to, if you like, give any reasonable explanation or avail herself to it, then you have the duty to ensure that at least a default judgment or decision could be reached.
Well, that audio autorum pattern principle doesn't look like the executive was even ready for that. So that one.
Oh, what do
The
you mean by that?
executive
The
dealt
executive
with it.
tried.
Yes.
Don't tell me they didn't look at it.
But I'm saying that
They
as
tried.
it is now, Parliament is still giving her some chance to
Yes,
explain yourself.
because-
but the executive is done.
No, for the executive, that's why I cited Article 81 of the Constitution, which says that the president can revoke your appointment at any time.
Yes, I understand.
And with
that.
that explanation.
No,
so you don't even need the
no,
alternate
I
party
accept
there.
that.
So you don't even need it. You don't need
that's
it to listen
legal.
to it.
That's legal.
But
I'm
objectively
just saying
and
that-
morally, you could be listening. You could listen to
Exactly.
her.
That's
what
what
I
I'm-
mean.
that's
but
what I'm saying.
you and I do not also know whether the president tried to listen to her to understand
Whether
before even
he
revoking
actually
it.
heard
We can know
her.
about that.
If he heard
You
her.
and I wouldn't know. You see, governance this morning, I was on a different platform.
But if the
and I was
person
saying
actually
something.
heard her, we should know.
Oh, no. You see, there are a lot of things that goes. You see, governance is a complex business. I've always mentioned it. It's what is supposed to be of public consumption. It comes out. There are other things that's why you swear oath of secrecy and oaths of what? What's the name? The other oath of secrecy and oath of office.
Office.
We swear them because it is anticipated that a lot will happen behind the scenes.
Yes, come
What
on.
is supposed to come to public domain, let it come.
Come on.
What is supposed to be reserved, let it be
In
reserved.
this case, we're talking about a public servant. There's nothing like oath of secrecy.
Oh, there is.
No.
There is.
No.
No, I disagree with you.
I don't know what information. You see, it depends on even the kind of sensitive information they're sharing. But on the basis that a public servant has been put in office and has been off for months, the president owes us some explanation if,
No.
if and only if,
No, let me-
he's had a discussion with her.
I emphatically disagree with you. The president, after the departure or of Adwoa Safo, or after she absented herself for some time with information to him, did not leave that ministry just like that. Got the minister in charge of sanitation or water and sanitation to what? Act in her stead. Okay? As a caretaker minister, which is also allowed by the principles of governance we have established ourselves.
Okay.
So the president of the Republic of Ghana, there's nowhere one can fault him for what Adwoa has done. Again, we cannot fault him for delaying to know how her health status will be. Now, maybe what discussions went behind the scenes. That's why I said there's oath of secrecy. It's not everything you bring it out. Based on that respect, I don't think that at the end of the day, the president have to come out and say, I spoke to Adwoa said this, and we don't trivialize governance.
No, you are trivializing.
No, we don't trivialize governance.
I'm not saying that if there's an issue that is as sensitive as it begs for it to be secret.
Okay.
You should come and put it out. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, I can't be that.
Then what do you want the president to come to?
So I'm saying that, you see, taxpayers have paid a public servant, all right? If there's an issue that if you have spoken with her and you've come to a conclusion for one reason or the other, the president in his wisdom knows how to couch an information to give to the public.
My dear sister.
So we don't deserve any explanation for paying someone for months and she's done nothing.
I disagree with you. What we wish is different from what the law is.
Okay.
Okay? I am begging you of this. I'm saying that what we wish to have happened or to happen or to see is different from what the law states. And I'm saying 78 grants the president the powers to appoint. 81 grants the powers to the president to disappoint or to revoke. Finito. You don't need explanation to why you have revoked. And I'm again saying that if you make the moral argument of come to explain why and what reasons behind it, I'm saying there is also a swearing of oath of secrecy and oath of office. And oath of secrecy enjoins you to ensure that what is not for public consumption, let it not come out. That is why I say you and I will not know what the president is privy to.
I'll keep it at that. We do not know. Because when I start thinking of maybe the maybes, I'll be demanding for things I probably will never get answers to.
No.
But let's cross over to her constituency, Dom Kwabenya. Let's deal with the politics of it. How are the constituents doing? Shadrach Ajari is our team member who spent some time with the constituents of Adwoa Safo. Let's hear him.
Attempt to oust MP for Dom Kwabenya, Adwoa Safo Sarah. The president subsequently, or late in the night yesterday, revoked her status as the Minister for Gender and Children Social Protection. I am back here in the constituency that has been described as the mother of all constituencies, the Dom Kwabenya constituency. That is Adwoa Safo's constituency, to find out from her residents what they make of this development. Mami, any fan out to Dom Kwabenya?
Me will comment. Comment.
MP. Last time I won any day.
Oh, I check Accra. By the amity, and say, yes, in the Bayare or Kosheni Bano. The Amisumi me your bat, I only see your bat, no nim the Anibabedi. It is all to me Kosheni Bar, me dream say Bonibi nim. Kakra Missumi to me a canon.
Did I mean be south? Mamma wants so a him fan out.
Me met a dome.
Domiankasa. MP time. When was the last time I won?
Let me who nachemo.
Who nache? What's in one same say yes, we're too quiet and so way. At the end, what's the affair? Free so who nache?
The mentation, Mumacasa Tibia, and I mean, Teshe can't mean you yasama or can say a send a biality or quack or shed about.
Na enra jo ye man panyin na ado dan kwakufu ado ye se wayi na di o ma ne nye suafo a o hwe eye nkwala ma ne social protection ho nsem biom se timamuni wan kasa so wadwen kire wo ho ene den
so nya na djuma yie de na obeyi na didi a ye mra so obeyi na djuma yie de a na se ye su yeta na chi so nya wa djuma yie de na obeyi wa didi a ende wa sama
nti wo de hu boni e wo
ni hu boni e wo dia
so she's saying it's been a while she saw her MP and she actually did not even know she has traveled abroad to take care of the son as said or as running in the news. Now so say
ye dia chire sanso ya moayen ye dia moayen de my committee sir.
To me, I think a role should be taken from her because we cannot give you the mandate that come and take care of the community and then you go and sit somewhere and be thinking of your children or be thinking about your family. Whilst it's we the people in the community gave you power that come and take care of us. So I think we will plead to the government that For this, we should take the mandate from her. Then we can give it to someone who can, do the work with energetic energy for us.
But last night, on 28th July, the president has revoked her role as the Minister for Gender and Social Protection. What do you make of that? Is it a step in the right direction, or the president should have given her time?
You see, they are our leaders, so as soon as they take decision, we people down here, we cannot say anything again. So we will, manage it like that.
Oh, Adwoa Safo the meeting catch it. No kura semini. Wosi ana memete. By wosi so the yamfa yasem. By say many part the meeting wundi ache edi mera bibiri.
Nti Mindi can be sa wanka sa ususi ani sense ya no mupenyi a mu hu no ede nanka wu nyaaya anka yen hihye aban de beto ma timemufo ne mupenyi Adwoa Safo.
Adwoa Safo ano. No kura semini. Se ye di wedi panyin na se yehu se ebia ewo oman ni mu dia anse se yetimi di panyin di ni esato so ese yi panyin di ni fi so because ese yehu modern boy with the boa oman no so what you say and now before you foul no wo swear say nsuomo ewiemo sumo haimo baby o mafro bia Ghana fo bafro bia no wo gina kwa no
so what so say ne ba yare ntina akotena abroche no hwe
me di kanka say wo si na mo me di me fa mani hu ye so wa gine dibren afini nsem a ayo no na wa man ho kwan ama ba ne sa say bia say wo make say wa mamedwuma na me ntimi nya say me ka che say bia me ntimi ye and say me film afi adwuma no ho say me fi adwuma no ho dia that means wo bum say me nya serious ama adwuma no ba say me ni ahomfama ama adwuma no na me am na me di mirika baje adwuma no
nti say ye yi na afri no mo nam ususu say wa anya na adwuma yi MP adwuma no susu a wo kan mo se mo hu na che wagya to na no susu ye nya ne den
MP adwuma no de no kwara asem ni say onye na adwuma say na nanadu hu say adwuma odi hye ne nsa no wanye na adwuma ye na waje fi ne nsema sa na say position we so wo no so osifom
me de meka me hu ne da by TV so there every day bia me hu ba na nsa na mte say ne ba yare a okohwe no na OMP na osan so eboa nkura de meka ne say sanka kufa do nya abotre na ofre no no mom no ne tena se na omoka se adwuma no baya na se onye na wo hu ba se ode ni penny no like on pass on dream ye timam ha sa na meka on dream ye timam
why na dream mo temam
se akofa na ko ofre Adwoa Safo na ko omo bia omoka se bia wopam ni ye timam fo na oye yi no on dream ye.
But onyam pamo no say mo MP yam pamo ne say ya pamo ne say minister and nkrofo nso ka say
di brefi ni nsem enti say opam na ne no I say obia ma odwuma na wanya osifrim what I say
say on free mu sa we free mu say minister but aso ye mo MP but say oni ho no mo
say otumi enko parliament biem
parliament no wa brochire obetumi akọ parliament as MP but ontumi nya minister adwuma
say no sanka akofo ado na say MP before mpanifo no eto omo bo ase say na omo frɛ no na bibia ho bia na omo tena ase na omo ka what I say wa mo bi adwuma na so nya mmema no oyo oba tan mem gina me oba metimi am baba yare what I say nti ono so odwe ne ba ho fetansa na odwe o man Ghana no what I say
in this case wo person che say na busan di kan sana wo to aso
oh there be nya sa na me make am
say wo na oya na adwuma wo
minim sa me na adwuma ba so onya ware ne de o say odin kan etoto ne ma na nsa na waba yetimamfo no so what I say nya say bia me yetimamu ni me bu ni fa na sa oyo ba ta me so me oba metimi awo.
Those are some responses we're getting from constituents of Don Kwabinya, the Adwoa Safo. I think for now, they don't have a mother or a father. But what would be the political, partisan impact on the situation should we get to a point where maybe legislature says that you've been removed?
It boils down to a matter of strategy. And I believe that we've just had our newly elected executives in place. I believe in the chairman, and I believe in the general secretary, and I believe in the national organizer, and of course the other officers who have been elected. That's why I said it boils down to a matter of strategy. As and when the constituency is declared vacant and by-election by the constitution is pushed to happen, and the electoral commission declares same, I believe the party MPP, we have always won it from the Professor Makokwe days running to Adwoa Safo days. It has always been MPP.
But the numbers are showing closure now.
It doesn't matter. I mean, that's why I say it's a matter of strategy, which of course I cannot sit here to discuss.
Right.
I'm not sure there's even a committee put in place yet to look at it. But I'm confident as a party member and also as part of the auxiliary staff of the party, i.e. a deputy communication director, that should the constituency be declared vacant, okay, by Parliament, and there's supposed to be by-election, I am highly confident that the MPP will retain it again. Very confident.
That
yes.
Should she even
Should she
leave?
be ousted?
And she decides to run as independent?
Well, that is a decision she wants to take.
Which is highly possible.
That will be her decision to take. Nobody is debarred so long as you are qualified under Article 94C of the Constitution of Ghana. You are qualified to run for Parliament. Why not? You go ahead and do it. But of course, that is left for her to take a decision a decision for her to make, and it's left also for the voters at the constituency level to decide whether or not giving you the mandate and the MPP. And now you come in to seek our mandate and the independent. What message will you be giving to us? I don't think, I think it's going to be a difficult and an uphill task for her, actually, because we are not going to take the voters of this country, i.e. the constituency, for granted. Because if you have been given the opportunity and you absenting yourself to the extent that Parliament is not happy and taking you out, and you come back to say, I want to go independent, what warrants that? It's for her to decide and not my decision to make.
Come
anyway.
on, our time is up, but last words on all that we have spoken about.
Yes, all I will say is that this is a lesson to all of us. We are a budding democracy or democratic nation, even though we are 30 years into this constitution. But we are, for me, I still think that we are young and we are growing. Our dispensation must be respected, and of course, respected properly. If you are elected a member of Parliament, with the greatest of respect to all members of Parliament, I sit here, and I say without any equivocation, you don't have to take the voters for a ride. Don't take them for granted. These are people who need you to sit there and help make laws to benefit them and to help them. Once you don't do it, and you don't perform your duties well, and think that you ought to appear individualistic, and it's just by yourself, then you are taking the people for a ride. And when you do that, you jeopardize the democracy of our country, and that will not be proper for us. So on this note, we have lessons to learn from this Adwoa matter as a people, and as a country, and as a government. And of course, our appeal to the minority. Let us nip in the bud, share partisanship, and do what is right.
Kamaldeen Abdullah is Deputy Communications Director for MPP. Thank you so much, and welcome to Metro TV.
Thank you.
We'll have you again.
Thank you so much.
And that's all we have for you viewers. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being with us this week. My name is Adwoa Safo. We're back next week with Good Afternoon Ghana. Have a good weekend.